A woman suddenly realized in horror that the man who murdered her best friend was now appearing as a male contestant on a wildly popular TV dating show. She couldn't help but feel short of breath, and her legs started shaking uncontrollably. Back then, she and her friend had gone to a beach party, where this guy showed up posing as a photographer taking their pictures. She'd stepped away briefly for an errand, and the next day found her friend dead in a motel room. But because there wasn't enough evidence, the police couldn't press charges, and the case was quickly closed. To make things even more ironic, she told her boyfriend what happened, but he didn't believe her. He insisted a TV network would never let a murderer on their show. Even more chilling, this story is based on real events, with an actual victim count as high as 130, and one of the female contestants on that show was herself a survivor. Cheryl was an actress passionate about performing, who'd been struggling in Los Angeles for years, but because she refused to play along with industry sleaze, she kept failing auditions and her career stalled. Her agent suggested she join the popular dating show, just to get her face out there and gain some exposure. Desperate for a break, Cheryl agreed to appear. What she didn't know was that among the three male contestants lurked a twisted serial killer who was extremely skilled at hiding his true nature and came across as charming and emotionally intelligent. During the Q&A segment, Cheryl ignored the scripted questions and asked one of her own instead.
What's the difference between a boy and a man?
Contestant number 1 looked completely lost, struggling to come up with an answer. Number 2 just shrugged, confidently saying boys pay the bill, while real men get women fighting over who pays. The audience burst into laughter. When it was number 3's turn, he spoke in a calm, low voice. A boy thinks that buying a woman dinner means she owes him something, but a man knows better than to start planning dessert before the main course is even served. The whole studio erupted in applause. Then she asked another question. What's a woman's purpose in life? Number 1 blurted out, of course, to make men happy. Number 2 dodged it. That's a trick question, I'm not answering. But number 3 paused thoughtfully and said sincerely, that's something only a woman herself should decide. His emotionally intelligent answer won another round of applause. Cheryl was deeply moved and ultimately chose him. They won an all-expenses-paid trip to California, but the guy couldn't wait. Right after taping ended, he was waiting for Cheryl outside the studio, eagerly inviting her out for a drink. They ended up at a restaurant. At first, Rodney was the perfect gentleman, giving Cheryl plenty of emotional validation, and they hit it off really well. But after a few rounds of drinks, Rodney started showing his true colors. His words grew strange, and his eyes turned cold and menacing. Cheryl's gut told her this man was dangerous. Just then, Rodney signaled the waiter for another round. Cheryl immediately shook her head no. The waiter got the hint. We're closing up actually. Cheryl quickly added, what a shame, pretending disappointment to lower his guard. Rodney was annoyed but couldn't force her to stay. After leaving the bar, Rodney asked for her phone number.
What's your number? I figured we have to connect before we go to Carmel, so.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Wanting to keep him calm, Cheryl wrote down a fake number. Suddenly, Rodney got handsy. Cheryl stayed composed, handed him the number, said goodbye, and walked straight to the parking lot without looking back. But to her shock, Rodney followed close behind, calling out from a distance.
You told me your number?
I just gave it to you.
Yeah, no, I know. I just want to make sure I have the right one. You know, sometimes the 4s, they kind of look like 9s.
Cheryl froze. She couldn't answer, because the number was completely made up. Rodney leaned in and whispered, I'll find you and smash your skull in. Sensing real danger, Cheryl turned and hurried toward her car. Rodney chased after her. Just as she opened the car door, Rodney lunged at her, trying to drag her away. At that critical moment, someone walked out of a nearby studio. Rodney backed off and fled. Cheryl narrowly escaped. Still shaken the next day, she packed her bags and left Los Angeles for good, abandoning her acting dreams entirely. It wasn't until Rodney was finally arrested, making headlines across America, that the horrifying truth came out. He'd victimized an astonishing 130 people.